guys, welcome back to this week's video. So to get today started, we're gonna kind of start on a topic that's not related to the ending topic, but last week I did a story time video and talked about one of my stories included a supply teacher. Also, if you have not seen that video, go check it out right now before watching this one. And we had talked about an incident that happened with supply teachers. So we kind of wanted to start off by talking a little bit about how supply teachers impact us as people with disabilities, and then leading into how that becomes important with self-advocacy.
Yeah, so let's get started. So my experience with supply teachers has been mostly good, I'd say, but I've recently had an incident where I was sitting in a new classroom from what I'm used to, and we were all, like, my whole class was just, like, working, like, quietly, and I didn't have headphones in or anything, but of course the supply teacher didn't know, like, my condition, so she walked up on my right side, which of course I have no hearing and no vision on that side, and so if she's on my right side, then I don't really know that she's there, of course. And she was there for like a good 10 seconds or something, and I didn't know that she was there. But then, and I heard her mumble something, but then I didn't really catch that. And then she started waving a pen in my face, and she kind of said a sarcastic hello, kind of annoying stuff, I was ignoring her or something. And then I turned to face her, and I was just oh, hi. And then she asked me what my name was and everything, and I said, oh, my name's Hannah. And then as she was walking away, I said kind of salty, by the way, I'm deaf and blind on that side. But anyways, that kind of just made me really upset, because I kind of got the impression that when she started waving a pen in my face, she assumed that I was ignoring her, or I was one of the bad kids. But obviously I wasn't. I'm a good kid and everything.
Debatable.
Yeah, but I'm a good kid, and I feel she just kind of assumed that, and that kind of just put me into a bad position of that made me kind of upset for the rest of the day, and I don't know, it wasn't a good start for us, and that kind of bothered me.
So when we get new teachers at the beginning of the semester, we obviously introduce ourselves to them, say who we are and what our needs are and whatever. So our normal teachers are completely familiar with what we need, but oftentimes when you get a supply teacher, especially in high school, they aren't given IEPs or notes or anything, so they're not told that there is an individual with disability in the classroom. And especially when you're like us and they're not explicitly you're not in a wheelchair, you don't have anything specifically out there saying that I can't see. It can be quite frustrating, and that's when self-advocacy really comes into play, because if you can't speak up for yourself and tell that supply teacher that you are visually impaired or hearing impaired or whatever the disability is, it can become, you get situations like this where people think you're being rude because you don't hear them or see them, and that can be tough. So self-advocacy basically means that you are able to speak up on your behalf and tell someone new in your life that what your needs are. So a lot of people often think that when you say oh, I need half the lights out, or I need you to wear my hearing system, that it's a want, and sometimes that can be a barrier in self-advocacy when people think that you just want them to do this, not that you need them to do that, so that whatever's going on can be accessible to you. And that's what makes self-advocacy so hard, is that people think they feel like they're high maintenance or needy or whatever, but it's a necessary skill for people with disabilities to know that it's okay for you to speak up for yourself, to say that you need something. Because I think we can all agree that self-advocacy is a life skill for someone with a disability.
And you don't want to be just self-advocating like at school or at work or wherever you are. You want to be like self-advocating like out in public. No matter where you are, you always have to be able to speak up about yourself, because people don't know. You're not like wearing a sign on your shirt that says, "I'm Hannah, I have low hearing and low vision." Like, you don't have that sign, unfortunately. So you have to like go up and let people know if it is, if it's a good time, then you have to like let people know that, hey, I need help with something, or hey, this is my condition, I need you to help me with something. Or
and it's okay to ask for help in that situation.
Yeah, and like sometimes you have to like let the bus driver know like where your stop is if you can't like see where you're going. So sometimes you just have to ask like people for help when you're in public. And
I feel like asking for help and self-advocacy tie in really nicely, because asking for help in a situation where you can't see something is asking for help for something that you need in order for the situation to become accessible for you.
Yeah.
So one of the things that is most important is understanding that you know yourself best. Like, obviously when you're growing up, your mom or dad probably told other people what you need in school, or like when you're out in social situations, but eventually they're not going to be there for you, and you have to learn how to speak up for yourself, because you do know yourself the best. Like, nobody else knows what you can see, what you can hear, what you can feel, whatever, because they're not you. So it's really important. The self part of self-advocacy is that you learn to speak up for yourself.
Yeah. Even when you're a shy person like me, you just have to learn to like just break out of your shell, just talk to someone. I know that was kind of hard for me when I was little. I was a very shy girl, but you have to let people know about yourself, so that they aren't put in a situation either where they don't know about you in a way that everyone needs to know in this situation.
And not gonna lie, it is hard to put yourself out there and say to other people that you need help or need accommodations. And it does put you in that little bit of situation of like, some people don't want everybody to know, but if you're really struggling, it's something that just needs to happen. So I know that was a bit of a serious topic and we got into some deep stuff, but moral of the story is you know yourself the best and advocate for yourself. It's so important. It is a life skill. I cannot stress that enough. But thank you guys so much for watching.
And we will see you guys next time. Bye.